Hey, finale time. It's Cutting Stems. Welcome back, everyone. We are here for the two-night finale. They just laid a lot on us.
Too much, if we're being honest.
A lot. Rhea, Kelly, Fran. Once again, we miss Trent. He is not with us right now.
All our love to Trent.
We love you, Trent.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. How much do you miss Trent?
So much.
The most.
If I had to say who I love the most out of the three of you, if I was Clayton, it would be Trent.
Perfect.
If you were Clayton.
Yeah, because
Clayton,
Clayton's the only other person who can love multiple people at the same time.
So
it makes sense.
Trent would be my Susie.
You love him the most?
Yeah, Trent would be my Susie.
Yeah, that checks out. That checks out. All right, guys, crazy. Yeah. We have these beautiful edible arrangements in front of us today. Edible, thank you, Edible. You can go to edible.com to order some of these bad boys. It's never It's never the wrong time for chocolate-covered anything.
Some big-ass straws.
Those look delish.
I'm going to take some of these home tonight.
Look at these straws. I know, I might save.
Every night, I think the same thing. And then,
Yum.
You think those are like, oh, no, was Noah handling these? Those kind of look like giant peanut butter cups.
They do.
Yeah, Noah,
you
all right back there?
All could be okay.
They do.
You good?
Like
It was Devin.
Devin opened them?
Okay. See what that is. It looks
Mystery
it's
bite.
Gotta be a Reese's cup.
Mystery bite.
Mystery bite could be an apple.
Oh, it's really hard.
People are like, can they
no.
just talk about The Bachelor?
Oh, what?
I'm
That
kidding.
is a solid chocolate?
Wait a second.
It's a rock hard piece of chocolate. I'm gonna lose it. I'm about to lose a tooth.
I saw that. I saw
well,
it.
good thing
Look at my
our
teeth
sweet
marks.
Noah's gonna be okay.
Like just trying to dig into this.
Just really trying to get in there.
Yeah, that's just chocolate.
I gotta have at least one. Gotta have at least one. Just a little bite, a little morsel.
Maybe there's something. Yeah, I think that might just be chocolate. Okay, that kind of hurt my tooth. All right, moving on.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm all right. Honestly, no, I'm actually not all right. That was ridiculous.
No, the whole thing was ridiculous.
The whole thing was ridiculous, and it's hard to even talk about night one knowing what happened night two. But really, to sum it up, Susie leaves. Clayton convinces Rachel and Gabby that he loves them and that they should stay. They meet Clayton's family. Clayton's dad's like, what the fuck are you doing? Then all of a sudden, he's in love with Susie. It's actually Susie. He's got to go back to Susie. He goes, we see tonight, breaks up with Gabby and Rachel at the same time.
Threesome breakup.
Unbelievable.
And then doesn't even really talk to Susie. Like, I don't blame Susie at all for leaving at the end because they did not talk at all. Susie coming back and having to, like, awkwardly meet Clayton's parents.
I have such a problem with that.
The whole thing was unbelievable.
The fact, so we
unbelievable.
We didn't get to talk about this because it happened only last night, but we had, they had on a bunch of past Bachelor people come on, and Cassie was on. Cassie made the most elusive appearance. We haven't seen her.
Dead.
We haven't seen her in years. So we're
rejoin Bachelor Nation.
Thrilled to see her. I was very interested in what she had to say, and she did say something very interesting, which was, I hope that Susie doesn't feel pressured to take Clayton back when he comes knocking at her door. And that's basically what they did. They were like, Clayton still wants to talk to you, whatever, you should talk to him. And then they sent her to like the house he's staying in. His whole fucking family is there.
Nice.
Maybe a heads up. She went in there, hugged his parents.
Yeah.
First
hey
time
guys,
meeting
I'm
them.
Susie. I'm the one that left.
What the hell?
Or the one that your son made me
Do you
leave.
think they told her ahead of time that his parents were in there?
They had to.
They had to have, right?
Basically, everything that happened the entire show is irrelevant because Clayton and Susie are together.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
So no matter how we feel about what Clayton did, we all know he fucked over Gabby and Rachel to extremes. Like, he should have never, ever made them stay after the rose ceremony. He should have never begged Gabby to stay when he knew it was going to be Susie. Well, he was just going to fake.
I wish Gabby left.
He was just going to fake settle down with one of them. He knew it was neither of them. He knew it. Then he goes to the family knowing that he loves Susie the most, still introduces the both of them to his family. It's like, why didn't you save them? Just, you knew the entire time. There was no way he was in love with all of them.
The whole time.
He was only thinking about himself. Then Susie, she comes back, but then she denies the proposal. Everyone's like, yes, Susie. Yes,
I was
good
so
for you. Everyone
proud
was
of
so
her in that
excited.
moment.
I
was
will
so
say
proud
I
of her.
also really laughed
And
at
now
like
they're
the
just
fake
back.
proposal. Like, it wasn't a full proposal. It was like a soft launch proposal. I love the way that did make me laugh. The way Clayton did that.
Yeah.
Where he was like, "This is how serious I am. pulls ring
a
out of
box
pocket,
out, a ring
puts it
box.
back in
He's
pocket.
like,
Like you
Yep.
give me the signal, the wink wink. I'll get down on one knee, but just I have it. Just want to let you know I have it.
Can I ask
But
you
I'm
guys
not
something?
proposing. But I have it. But I'm not proposing.
Can I ask you something for real? Do you think, like, I felt like that alone was manipulative. Like, I thought
Yeah.
that moment, what is Susie gonna say? Like, she stood her ground, and I'm glad she said no, and I'm glad she like broke up with him, whatever. But like, for him to send her away in such a way that was so uncomfortable for everybody to watch, so uncomfortable for her, it like hurt her feelings, all the above. Worst thing that could ever happen to her. He touts these other two girls to go see his parents. Then he breaks up with them both at the same time. Then he brings Susie back to this position. Susie didn't even think that he was going to say that he loved her when he said he loved her. In what world is she expecting him to whip out a ring? Like, I don't understand why he feels the need to put these like high pressure situations on these girls just to get them to stay with him.
Yeah.
If he wanted them,
I
he
think
should
has
just
some
tell them. Like, just pick one and tell them.
insecurities.
No,
Hot
it's
take.
crazy though.
Hot
It's-
take.
What?
I don't think Susie and Clayton are gonna make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, me fucking either. Like,
I mean,
although
she
I don't know.
left, she came back, she left again. Now they're moving into. I would advise them not to move in together. I would say
something that she
may
said-
not end right.
Did you guys catch tonight when they were on the stage or whatever? She said, like, if anything, it'd be me proposing to him. Excuse me? What, Susie?
Whoa, how did that switch around,
Yes,
Susie?
I mean, also, let's
you
not-
said
what are you
no.
talking about?
They also
Thank God Clayton didn't actually. Thank God you didn't say yes.
The way they framed
I hate it. I hate it
The way
all.
they framed it too was that she reached out to him also when the show was over. Like, it wasn't like Clayton went back to Susie being like, please, like, let's try this again. Like, Susie's the one that went back to him.
I understand. I'm actually not so surprised that Susie went back to him because she did kind of like her standing around and dumping him and whatever. I bet she like felt guilty about that, especially because they're in love.
And
She
like
was
that
in
made
love with
sense
him
of
and
why
whatever.
she left
Yes.
because they literally did not get one chance
No.
to actually talk about
Totally.
the fight that they had. They
Totally.
talked about that fight for 3 seconds.
Completely. But I am surprised over the fact that she now has swung so far the other way that she thinks that
Right,
she
it's
is
like,
the
oh,
one who
it's my
needs him.
boyfriend.
Like, yeah, like she, look at my boyfriend.
all, like,
I
look
should
at my
propose to
boyfriend.
him. Like, he's so amazing to
And
me.
they
Like,
were
whatever, blah, blah. And I'm
kissing so
like,
much.
Susie, it's been 5 minutes. How have you forgotten that he berated you and embarrassed you, and it's going to take more than a
Yeah.
couple of months to forgive something like that, to get to the point where you're like, I'm lucky to have him. He's still lucky that you're even speaking to him. In what world are you now feeling so lucky to have him that you are touting this on stage, being like, making jokes like, well, where's the ring? Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
No. Oh, get
And you
a
just
head on
watch
your
what happened
shoulders.
with Rachel and Gabby, which
Right.
to me, like, I don't know how you watch that and think like, oh my God, my dream man. Like, he was so robotic with
He
both
had the
Rachel
same
and
apology
Gabby.
to both of them. Same words.
And nothing.
Yeah, because he did it at the same time.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's nothing I hate more than an apology that starts and ends with "I'm sorry, I made you feel that way." Like I'm
he
sorry,
didn't even say-
Oh, no.
or I'm
He
sorry
didn't say, "I
you
made
feel
you."
that way.
Yes,
Like I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm sorry you
I'm sorry
felt that
I
way.
made you feel that way is probably a good
is a little bit better.
way to say.
Still
what
not
else,
good.
What else can you say, really?
Well, yeah,
Not
I guess
sorry you felt that way is
right,
bad, but
what does
Just
he
more-
say? I'm sorry you felt that
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
Yes, that's what he
bad.
said,
That's
which is bad. But even I'm sorry I made you feel that way. Like, yes, that comes on, but it still doesn't totally take accountability for your feelings. If he
No, it's-
apologized,
you
like,
have to say, "I'm sorry
so sorry
for what I did to
Yes,
you."
I'm sorry for what I did.
I did.
Don't be like, I'm sorry you feel a certain way.
Yeah.
It's like, don't talk about how I feel. I'm telling you how I feel. You need to fucking apologize right now. And I
Yeah.
swear to God, besides Clayton over and over being like, I'm so sorry, I, like Gabby and Rachel, don't believe a word of his fucking mouth, and I don't believe his apologies. I just don't. He's full of shit.
Now I also am just a like producer conspiracy has just popped into my head that when there was like 3 weeks left, they all knew that they were gonna make Gabby and Rachel the Bachelorettes, and they were like, you gotta do everything with them together.
You think? You think? I mean, that would be nuts.
You gotta do everything with them together. Tell
would
them
be
you love
so
them together.
crazy.
Tell them break up with them again together, so that they're really tied together, so that the whole Bachelorette announcement
They really-
makes
I
sense.
don't think I have any more energy to give about what happened tonight. Like I actually don't.
I know.
This
I just
show
want to
is
say that Gabby and
tiring.
Rachel really handled themselves so well.
Yes,
both
they
of them.
did.
Like they had very different stories, and Gabby's reaction very different from Rachel's reaction. But they both did what was best for them, and like him saying like, "Can you walk out?" and Gabby was going, no.
It was amazing.
No.
It was amazing.
Go away.
Unbelievable.
And I mean, Rachel was clearly so heartbroken. Her dad, her parents were in the audience. Gabby's grandpa was in the audience. A lot of family moments. I can't imagine there might have been some awkward vibes between Clayton's parents and their parents sitting across the way. Big Tone did not look happy.
Clayton's parents, I feel like we said this, or no, we didn't get to say it because I keep thinking
that
like
we did this
that
show
was
last
last
night?
week.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that Clayton's parents, when we got to meet them yesterday and we got to hear them kind of giving it back to Clayton, like explaining to him what he did was wrong, especially his mom being like, she should have left. Like, of course she left. Like, why would you?
Yeah.
Why, if you like love her as much as you say you did, why did you tell these other girls you love them and have sex with them? Like, it's true. If he was so obsessed with Susie, like he says he is, she shouldn't have had to say, like, don't tell anybody else you love them. The sex thing, I think, is just like, I think that everybody can get over the sex thing.
The sex thing,
I think
to be
that's
honest,
completely
feels
off the
almost
table.
irrelevant at this point.
It's totally
because
irrelevant.
The only thing that
It's
it
the I
really
love
felt like
yous.
the women cared the most about his words.
100%.
Not me, like, and his actions not matching up. And his
Yeah.
words, like the actual I love yous, that's what they couldn't get past.
Yeah, and I think that his parents being there tonight, of course they're going to support their son. Of course they love him, but I can't imagine they're feeling good about this situation, like, and about Clayton has handled himself. I almost said Colton. Clayton has handled himself, and how these other girls were made to feel. Like, I feel like watching them up on the stage kind of bitch him out while completely warranted. If I'm his parents, I'm like, Jesus Christ, like, my kid is so, what a stupid bunch of mistakes. Like, how dumb.
But at the end of the day, she's with him, so it's like,
Right, but
all right.
it makes me, I don't know, it makes me, I want to say, like, I respect her less for doing that, but of course, we don't know everything that goes on behind the scenes. I feel like I say that a lot, like, I talk shit like that a lot. But I do, honestly, I was so proud of her for saying no and leaving him in Iceland. I was like, girl, you have a good head on your shoulders. You know that you've been disrespected. You know that you were treated badly. And you're making the right choice. And for her to come running back and be like, I'm so lucky that I should be proposing to him, it pisses me off. I'm like,
know.
why are girls
I just
so
think
stupid
that
sometimes?
I just think, and I'll be honest, like, and maybe this is just because we've spoken to Clayton, and maybe I'm being manipulated, but I feel like I really don't get a malicious vibe.
No.
I really do feel like what he said when he said, you know, I feel like I've had 5 years worth of growth in 2 months. I feel like he was sneaky, probably a huge fuckboy before he went on Michelle's season. And I hate that term, but like, womanizer. And,
Yeah. But it applies.
And
I almost
he
like the
probably
term
got,
womanizer better.
I know, and he got
womanizer
away
too.
with it.
Womanizer,
And then he goes on Michelle's season and he gets this whole he gets this edit where he's like playing with puppies, and now he's the Bachelor and the kids love him, and now he's the
Kids
Bachelor.
did love him.
The kids
Boy,
loved
don't try
him.
to front. I
Those
know just
kids
what you
loved
are.
him. And now he's the Bachelor, and he was going about dating the way he went about dating in real life.
Yep.
And he was like, oh shit, this isn't gonna work this way. Can't be doing this, even though he tried to say he separated each relationship. At the end of the day, I just don't really think that he knows, not even knows what love, because I think he does, because he felt it with Susie. I think it was just lip service for the other two. And I think there's, with an ego thing of like, I can't end this thing alone, so now Susie's gone, so I gotta maybe try and make it work with Gabby or Rachel. And I do really like both of them, but that was the thing, like I think he talked himself into feeling like he loved both of them, and that's where Rachel too was struggling. And when she was talking to him saying like, that's how I felt. And she's like, I don't believe you.
Right.
Like, I don't believe you, because it's just not how you feel.
Also, something Gabby said later on when she was asked what's your type, who are you looking for? She said someone emotionally intelligent. I know emotional intelligence is a big topic on the show. It's brought up almost every season in one way or another. But this is a perfect example. Like, I don't think Clayton is a bad guy. I think that he acted like a total asshole. It makes me disappointed that he has such a hard time just admitting to being an asshole. Even when he's on stage and there's nothing for him to lose, he can just say it. He's still like, you can tell it's torture coming out of his mouth. And I think that a lack of emotional intelligence is exactly what's missing there. And maybe Susie will help him figure out that you can't act like that. But how long is Susie going to be his teacher in this for the whole time? Like, is she going to get sick of having to teach him how to be an adult and not like a fuckboy?
I know. I go back and forth too, because it's like, let's not forget how some of the most fucked up seasons, weirdly enough, have been successful. Like, we were talking about Ari being like, that was so
horrible.
crazy that he just straight up proposed and took it back. and then proposed to the other the
Lauren.
second place.
He took an engagement ring like basically off of Becca's finger.
And
Like,
put
it
it
was
on
the
Lauren.
craziest thing I've ever seen.
And they're happily married.
Oh, yeah.
Multiple children.
You know what I think the difference might be is all the couples that end up working out like that are the ones that they go on the show, they get engaged, and they sever from the Bachelor completely. Like Jason and Molly. We haven't seen Ari or Lauren apart from their Instagrams. They haven't come on. Or did they get married? Did they have a Bachelor wedding?
Married.
No, yeah. I know, but did they have a Bachelor wedding? No, right?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. It's like I'm forgetting, but I think that if they are really, really in love and they really want to start their lives, they kind of disappear and do their own thing. I think that if we see a lot of Susie and Clayton, I'm going to automatically be like, they're on the rocks. They're trying to like keep up this Bachelor spark and it's keeping them going. But if I'm them, I want to forget about all this and try to have a normal life and a normal relationship, because any memory of this season for the two of them has to be horrible to reflect on.
I'm just so over this show.
I get it.
In all capacity. I really am. It's so stupid to me. All of it is so fucking stupid.
You were real fired up last night.
Yeah, I was, because it was a boiling.
hates this show so much.
No, I know. I don't think it's sneaky at all. It's not sneaky at all.
No, but I'm saying like for years.
I hate the premise of it all, because first of all, and I talked about this last night and I made a video about it, it was like, all right, they're all crying because they're like, we're not supposed to be competing for Clayton's love. And it's like, well, no, you are competing for his love. I hate to break it to you, but Clayton's actually the first person to just say it out loud. They're all thinking the same thing. Every Bachelor and Bachelorette is thinking to themselves, who do I love the most? Or who do I like the most?
Yeah.
That's what they're thinking the entire time. That's what the show is about. Clayton's actually just the first person to say it out loud. Should he have done that? Probably not. We saw how that panned out. He probably shouldn't have said to each one of them, I love you, I love you, I love you, because then they all thought they had something special with him. But he is the first person to just say it all out loud. Besides that, he made every idiotic move you could possibly do. Maybe he shouldn't have said to them and make it seem like right now it's a competition between the three of you. I understood that part of it. But they all just acted like this wasn't part of what they signed up for in some way. Yes, he hurt them, and yes, he did very stupid things. I am in no way, shape, or form on Clayton's side. I think Susie should not be with Clayton. I think when she said no to the proposal, she probably should have stuck to that, because I really, maybe they'll be okay. They seemed happy, and you really never know. Maybe behind the scenes they have a great relationship and they work things out, and it just wasn't good at first. But like, this guy had to have been taught a lesson. I don't think he could say he learned a lot. He probably didn't learn that much now that Susie's back with him. The whole thing just stresses me out. Then you got the two of them as the Bachelorette together, which everyone's like, yes, Gabby and Rachel are both the Bachelorette. I'm rooting for both of them. It's like, you don't think that ABC is just gonna pin these girls against each other? You think ABC
I have a feeling,
wants a happy,
everyone
happy
on Twitter
best friend love story?
is bringing up all the other shows that.
Of course.
I know, but Vinny and Pauly were best friends for years.
I know, but they've done it.
Yeah.
Joe Millionaire, F-Boy Island, they did it. Some other fucking Bachelorette Australia, maybe they did it.
Well, they're gonna have to establish the rules of like, if you pick someone, you have to pick someone and stay with them. You can't be like going back and forth. Like, they have to make more rules. Like, we always ask, like, the rules are, there ain't no rules. There have to be rules with this one,
I don't know how
otherwise we're gonna end up at a Caitlyn Bristowe Brittany season where they're pitched against each other, and then it like ruined.
You have a guy go on a couple days with Gabby, and then he's like, actually, you know what? I like Rachel better.
And that's gonna make them not like each other. And that's not what they want. And they already had to deal with that with Clayton. Yeah. They already had to both sit there as Clayton broke up with the two of them together, which was also ridiculous. How does the guy not have the awareness to be like, I should take each one of them out of this room separately?
Right, have separate individual conversations.
That was the worst part of the whole thing.
I at least owe them that amount of respect.
It really
was. There was zero respect in any of that. It's just the whole show. It's like time after time and time again, everyone watches, and it's the same thing over and over again. The lead is an idiot. The people fall for it. It's the same thing every single time.
It really is the same thing. I want to say something about what you said about how everybody says the same thing and they're all thinking the same thing. I don't disagree with that. I think that the leads always know who they like the most. The leads, though, are smart enough to not be like, I love you, I love you, I
that's
love
what
you.
Gabby
That's
said.
the issue. Like,
Gabby was like, it's possible I fall in love with multiple people.
Right.
I'll just have more discretion with my words.
I'll be more discreet about it.
Like,
and
I just won't
sound like
say it out loud to people.
Right, and I sound like a broken fucking record, but I say it every fucking time. The only other person to say I love you to multiple people is Ben Higgins. And Ben Higgins is still being dragged through the internet coals. Like, as of yesterday, people are still talking about him, whatever. It's the love. It's saying love. Because these girls, you're sitting in that house for weeks, you're being told that this is your man, and you finally hear I love you. You can't, nobody thinks that that multiple people are being told I love you. No one thinks that. And you don't go into that show thinking, I'm going to be one of a handful of girls who's being told, I love you.
Right.
That's the problem with it. The sex thing, of course. You go in, everybody's going to have sex with each other, of course.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to play favorites. Everyone's going to like somebody more than somebody else. You pray that you're liked the most or you're even in the top 3, whatever. Nobody expects a love bombing from the lead and then to be broken up with 5 minutes later after you've already met the parents and all this other bullshit. You just don't say I love you. And it's like, that's the one thing you don't do. And Clayton and Ben Higgins are the only people that have ever actually done that and really fucked themselves like this.
Are they the only 2 that have done it?
Some other people say things like, I'm falling for you, or I'm really falling for you, or I have feelings for you. Never do they say, I love you. Or like, I feel like I'm falling in love with you. There's never the explicit, I love you. No one is outside being like, I'm in love with you, Rachel. Like, I love you too. I'm falling in love and it feels so good. Nobody does that. Otherwise, we'd remember those horrible cringe moments. Like, they're the worst. But it's all about the wording, and somebody
caught up in the moment. I think
somebody should have like told Clayton that. Like, that's what I'm thinking. Like,
maybe should have watched a couple
away.
episodes. He says he never watched the show before he went on. He should have maybe watched.
And he made the mistake because to your point, that happens in real life. People do that all the time. People say I love you to multiple people all the time. It's fucked up. Happens all the time. So he's acting like he's acting in real life, forgetting that we're gonna all see. What the fuck he's saying to everybody. We're going to watch you give the same speech to 3 different girls. We're going to watch you even tonight on the on the live
both of them are like, we watched you say you love Susie the most, and then went to us at the rose ceremony and said you were figuring out who you loved the most. You already knew it was Susie.
How did he bring them home to his family?
It's awful.
It's crazy. The whole thing is crazy. He should have just left
maybe
with
just felt
Susie,
like he'd be
but
too embarrassed to fucking end it alone.
I also feel like it was a prideful thing because he sent Susie home.
Yeah.
We're also not talking about the fact that
he's like,
Susie didn't even really leave herself.
I'm gonna pick one of the other girls now.
It was just very immature. The whole thing was really immature. It was really stupid. I think it had a lot to do with his pride, his ego, whatever. The bringing them home to the parents is another thing too that I think that they all expect to be brought home and meet the parents, and that's an iffy thing. Again, they're not being told I love you, but they're still meeting the parents. It's tough. He begged those girls to stay with him so then to meet the parents. He did not have to beg them to stay. Like, Gabby was not going to stay. Rachel would have stayed, and he could have done it with Rachel, and maybe he would have only broken one heart if Susie comes back. Like, that would have been terrible for Rachel, and thankfully she had Gabby to like share the experience with. But to go out of your way to convince Gabby a couple of times to stay, and then Rachel at the end being like, I fought for you, I never left, like I stood with you even when you told us you were with other people, like I never gave up. Like, it's heartbreaking to see like what has happened based on him being so casually cruel with his words. Taylor Swift.
Yeah, it really was insane. And it's insane the way that we just like ended on a happy note, I guess. I don't know. It just felt like
happy.
The whole finale did not deserve a happy ending, and yet there was one. So I guess that's the way that's going to go. And then we're going to get a double Bachelorette. Like we said, it's Gabby and Rachel. Jesse pulled, Gabby. It's not Gabby or Rachel. It's Gabby and Rachel. So I guess they're going to be. And look, is it adapting because there are now so many other dating shows that have like newer concepts? Yes, they are trying something new, which is a good thing, I think, because the show has gotten a little stale, where it is just the same thing over and over. So this is going to be very different. I do think it is interesting that every time they test out a new concept, it's with the Bachelorette and not the Bachelor.
Why?
And it's like, why couldn't it have been men who went first to do this? But it's always the Bachelorette. And I mean, I hope it works. I hope Gabby and Rachel do really seem like they're very close and good friends. So I hope it works. I don't know what the structure of this is going to be. But good news, it does not start till July 11th.
Oh, is
Thank
that the
God.
start?
That is
cool,
that.
Cool. Cool.
I sometimes I think that, and this sounds cocky, but sometimes I do think that Mills sees all of our tweets like complaining about shit and actually takes it to important meetings.
I think so too.
Like,
I think he
takes
watches
it
our show. I think
he like
yeah.
takes it to important meetings and he's like, guys, Bachelor Nation needs a break. We gotta move it back a little bit.
We
'Cause
do.
He
'Cause we really
tweeted, he's
do.
like, we've heard you guys. You need a break. The Bachelorette won't be on until July 11th.
My disdain for the show has been hyped up more because of how much it's been
Yeah.
lately.
Yeah.
You know I get excited for it when we don't have a lot of it. I'm
Yeah.
always like, oh, wow, Bachelor's coming back, when there's like months in between.
We have
Yeah.
But
4
back
full
to
months.
back
Yeah.
to back, it's like, I just can't take it
know.
anymore.
Well, it's like childbirth. You need enough space in between to forget how horrible it is.
Yep.
Like that's how, or
4
how horrible
full
you feel
months.
during it.
When I'm
just
interested,
so much emotion.
I'm interested now in how that's gonna work. No, I guess they'll be done filming for Paradise. I'm thinking for like
Oh,
those
yeah, for
contestants to be
Paradise.
able to go to Paradise, it'll be a quick turnover, but they'll figure
It
it
will
out.
be, yeah. Well, that means I wonder if the show itself will be short. Like if it starts July 11th, it'll definitely go through August.
Yeah.
I mean, because what they're at least
Yeah.
we started in January. We're still going.
Who knows? I don't have the answers. All I know
don't
is that
either.
the Bachelorette won't be till July 11th, and that's all we know. And Gabby and Rachel are double Bachelorettes. I thank God at least they're doing it. For a second, I really thought we were gonna have like a Caitlyn Bristowe redo of
Same.
like they're gonna vote on who's gonna be the Bachelorette, and that was the worst idea they've
That
ever
was
had.
horrible.
So
Horrible.
I'm glad that's not the case. They're
No.
gonna be they're both gonna be the Bachelorette throughout the whole season. Jesse made that very clear.
Yep.
We're excited for that. Should we talk to the peeps? How are the
Yeah.
people feeling?
Um,
Let's head to the YouTube chat. How are
Yeah.
we, guys?
What's going on?
Let's hear from you.
How do they feel?
what do we think about Caitlyn and Tayshia getting the boot?
Are they?
Yeah, Jesse Palmer said, I'll be there with you guys.
Oh.
Oh.
Interesting. Huh. Aw, a little sad for Caitlyn. Tayshia
I don't
doesn't
know
care
if
anymore. She's
I-
out. She doesn't. She doesn't give a fuck. She's out. I'm sick of acting like I really like Tayshia. I just don't. Like she's been fine, and she's like
Whenever someone gives their
Yeah.
honest opinion on this show, I've
never really
a
fucked
little
with
part of
Tayshia.
me comes back a little bit.
I've never really loved her. Everybody got on my dick about her name, and I didn't like her then. And it's
It's like how
I'm
I felt
sick
about
of her.
Katie. I didn't
Right.
like Katie at all during Match
No.
of the season. I didn't. You guys knew
thought
this,
that-
and I
no,
would
I
say to
know.
you guys, I don't really like Katie, guys. I was like, oh my god, I love Katie.
No, Katie. I'm with you on Katie now. But no, Tayshia, she never really grabbed me like that, and she clearly does not give a fuck like about the show. She had the worst attitude out of the two of them when she was doing the show itself. I'm glad she's doing her own thing. Let her do her own thing. This is not for her.
I feel like I'm not totally convinced that he's hosting the Bachelorette.
Oh, he is. He said it to them.
No, I.
Maybe he's not alone. Maybe
Like-
I thought Caitlyn was good because Caitlyn.
But saying like,
was just
I'll be
into
there
it
with
more.
you guys
Yeah.
in spirit.
No, they were like, yes, Jesse. Like it was like an exciting moment.
Oh, I missed that too. I missed that entirely. But no, I
Completely
think
missed that
I
as
think
well.
that I'm sad for Caitlyn because I do think that she
Caitlyn
cared a lot about
I mean,
it.
she should have been the host of the Bachelorette.
Yeah, for sure. I think she cared very much about it. She was, she would let herself get lost in it. She was good with advice. She was
Yeah.
very there for the people, and so
Look,
Jesse's fine.
Jesse, at the end of the day, like, did he matter that much during the actual season? No. Was it funny because he and Clayton looked alike? Yeah. Is he good at live shows? Yes, of course. Like that's he's been working in this business for decades now, and so like he is very good at that. And obviously, we saw it the way he handled all the live show moments. He did it 2 nights, and they had there was
Not a single
not
hiccup.
a break, not a single hiccup.
He was very good with the live, and I think he'll probably just stay on in like a mini capacity. I'm sure. I'm surprised about Caitlyn not being involved. I feel like she'll definitely be involved
I
somehow.
hope she's involved somehow. Yeah.
just because
Some people. I can't. I'm gonna throw my phone out.
Got some stupid people in the chat.
Do we think that Clayton really did tell Rachel he loved her just to fuck her like she asked him on the show?
Honestly, I don't.
I don't think so either.
I
don't
really
think
don't.
he's bad like that.
I think he's just like. I think he really convinced himself that he loved all these girls, and he didn't. But I think like in his mind, he felt like he did.
Yeah, I think that. I think that he, when with each of the girls,
Because let's be
really
honest,
did
all
forget
three of
about
these
the other
girls are
girls.
awesome.
Totally, yeah.
You know, there isn't one where it's like.
And he had
there
chemistry
wasn't-
with them all.
Yes, they really are all amazing women. So I think he ended up really loving them all as people.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just that he was actually in love with Susie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So.
Totally agree.
Rank these people rank the worst bachelors of all time out of these people. So
Okay.
rank them and who you think is the worst to least worst.
Okay.
Juan Pablo, Pilot Pete, Ari, Colton, and Clayton.
Oh, what a
Worst.
Worst to least worst.
They're all terrible.
So the number one to me is going to be Juan Pablo always.
Yeah,
like
it
that
has
was
to be.
truly.
I love
heinous.
him. I love him only because he's a villain. Did you guys see I was tweeting with him last
Yeah,
night?
I did see that. Yes.
I've never interacted with him before. I felt starstruck. I was like, oh my God, Juan Pablo. But he's a dickhead. He was
I
always,
gotta go.
and he knows it.
Juan Pablo. I mean Colton, just because
Colton,
he's
'cause
gay.
he really
and I
fucked
feel
that
like
over,
he
yeah.
probably.
He like ruined.
No, like I just think that
Wow,
he.
for him.
No, he should. I mean, that
just
was
think
a.
that he
that was
like
whole nother
manipulated
farce.
Really
every
bad.
single woman on his show.
Yeah,
He did.
he was
Cassie,
bad.
it took Cassie like 4 years to come
Yeah.
out of her house.
And then
Yeah, bad.
For real,
Yeah.
it's awful the way he treated her.
we're probably Pete. I would go Pete. I felt like Pete was really bad.
Pete was terrible.
Ari Clayton? I don't know. Is Clayton the least worst?
I think Clayton probably least worst. I'm gonna go Ari.
Clayton Ari could be swapped.
Ari is worst.
Yeah.
Nothing in my mind is worse than Ari snatching that ring back from Becca. That was horrible.
Yeah.
I think Ari, and then honestly I think Pete, because he was another fuckboy who didn't know what the hell he was doing.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. And then I'll go Juan Pablo because he makes me laugh so much. Like he was such a he was exactly
Pete
who he
also
said he was gonna be the whole
continually
time.
dating girls from his own season.
Yeah, it's crazy. He's
Yeah.
not great,
Yeah.
like in general.
Yeah.
I think
Exciting
that,
though. One of the most exciting seasons we've ever seen.
Totally. And then let's see. Juan Pablo, Colton, Clayton. And I only put Colton so low on the list because, whatever. He's out of my mind. I'm gonna forget that
Totally.
he exists. Like
Totally.
whatever.
I think that Hannah Brown and Pilot Pete were the two best back-to-back seasons that we've ever seen.
Drama-wise, yes.
Drama for
Yeah,
sure.
like
yeah.
meaning
Yeah.
like excitement.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate watched both of their seasons though. Like I hated every minute of both of them. I didn't like them as leads, either of them.
Yeah.
And I didn't
Really?
I really didn't. I wasn't a Hannah Brown fan. I still really
loved
am not.
Hannah Brown.
I also
as the
really liked
Bachelorette.
Hannah Brown. I did.
She was
I don't
my
mind
favorite
her.
Bachelorette that I've ever watched.
I don't mind her outside of the Bachelor world. I think on the show I didn't like her. There's just something about how she handled that. The Luke P stuff, I'll never forgive
Right.
her for that. Like there's a lot of shit like that. But as a person, she's fine. Just not my favorite Bachelorette.
That's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's
it.
We got trolls in the chat.
Wow.
Why are we
No,
upset?
that's the questions I got.
Oh, good.
And
Okay.
the people that they were just sending the questions over and over again.
Oh,
so I asked
Oh,
them.
of course. Yeah, of
So,
course. Of
Got
course.
it.
Yeah.
Got it.
The squeaky wheel gets the.
All right,
gets
so
the
I think
oil.
let's wrap it up.
All right.
Sure.
Let's cut some steps.
Cut
I
some
mean,
stems.
I don't even know how to
Can we just
end
make
it
a
with
group
this.
one,
Clayton?
Clayton?
Yeah, Clayton's stem is
And
officially
then we
cut.
give it to Gabby and
Yeah,
Rachel.
yeah, they clearly are getting they're getting the roses.
Yeah.
Oh, you could make Trent a part of the group. He would
No,
agree
he
with
puts that up
us.
every
No, whenever
time.
whenever you're not here, it's
No,
NA.
I know, but I know that he would agree with us.
No, he
I know,
would
but
agree.
we still have individual ones.
Yeah, I have an individual one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm giving my rose to a lot of good options. Gabby's grandpa,
Love him.
but I gotta give it to Jesse Palmer and his
The eyebrow.
Clayton is alone. Or is he?
His
That was a good
eyebrow.
moment. It was
My
like a
eyebrows
full,
don't move like that anymore.
or is he? Yeah.
They might right now. I'm a little late on the Botox.
He did like a Dr. Evil, like,
Yeah.
or is he?
No, I can't move my eyebrows.
Stem cut, I mean,
Damn.
God, there's so many. I just think, you got to go with the double breakup.
Yeah.
Double breakup.
Terrible.
As soon
Terrible.
as he slow walked up those stairs in that jacket, I turned to you guys, to Devin. I was like, he's gonna break up with both of them at the same time. He's breaking up with both of them. I can't believe this.
What was that jacket also? I feel like on anybody else I would have loved that
that looks
jacket. I
ridiculous.
hated,
And then
he, like-
I hated
he, like-
it on Clayton.
He like stood at the door like this.
Oh, it was
and the
crazy.
hood
Yeah.
was
fur
low,
hood.
and it was just, oh my god.
That to me makes me know that I just dislike Clayton right now, because on anybody else I would have loved a fur trim. Clayton was wearing it, and I was like, what a fucking asshole. Like,
I couldn't
never-
believe that he did that. I really could not believe he did.
Really unbelievable.
Kelly, you got yours?
Yeah, I'm gonna give my rose to the producer, whose idea it was to have Clayton tell Gabby and Rachel that he loves all of them and fucked all of them in that
At
echo
a
chamber.
rose ceremony?
At the rose
Yeah.
ceremony. At the rose ceremony and
Rose
in that echo
ceremony from hell.
chamber. So we can hear the shrieking sobs. That was A plus material. Stem cut. I'm gonna go. I'm cutting Susie's stem. I think Susie
Fair.
should have stood her ground. There should have been a little more time. Should have made Clayton sweat a little bit more. Now all of a sudden she's like laying in his lap on TV when he was just basically motherfucking her all over the place.
Yeah.
Like I can't with that. So unfortunately, Susie, I don't forgive you right now. Cutting your stem.
I wish we got more time with them. Like I know that it moved fast, and I can't believe I am uttering the words that I wish there was more, because it was on for 2 nights for 2 hours each. But that part specifically, I wish we got more than like 3 minutes, because there's just so much more that I feel like Clayton and Susie needed to talk about, and they were on stage for such a short period of time, and it was so late for Susie to be like, he's my boyfriend, I love him, he's moving to Virginia, and then like do the whole fake proposal bit when they could have actually been asking serious questions.
Right. I wish they would skip those silly things. Like it doesn't need to be all wrapped up in a bow at the end.
No.
Like I wish that they had come out and been like, listen, we're together. We're
Hard
trying to go
questions.
Yeah, hard questions. We're trying to be together. We're about to go through some tough shit. Like just give us support. That's all we ask. I don't
Jesse
need the
too
details.
buddy with Clayton to ask the hard
Way
questions.
too buddy.
My guy Clayton, my dude Clayton, my guy
Besties.
Clayton.
Besties, they love each other. Besties. They'll have a bond forever, though. It's like Jesse's first Bachelor. They look alike. They're both similar background, whole thing. So they're it's no surprise.
I'll give my rose to Gabby's grandpa.
Love it.
Sweet man.
And I will cut the stem of the promo shot of Susie's feet.
Oh.
Because
Yeah.
that
Oh, I
made me
hated
very
that too.
uncomfortable,
I
and it
didn't like
made
that
us think
also.
that it was going to be somebody else, and it was just Susie.
Yeah.
Yep.
We all thought there was a good chance it was gonna be someone else.
Yeah, based on that walk, I was like, I literally was saying, Susie doesn't walk like that. Like,
Yeah.
what do I know?
Like why did they do that?
I don't know. That's for
We
real.
don't know.
She came out. I really almost had a stroke because I thought she was Hannah Brown. Like she looked.
Yeah, no, I can't.
She looked so much
Kelly
like her
actually
tonight.
did short circus for a second, because she really did look like Hannah Brown.
She really
like,
did.
I think Kelly was
Even
about to
the
be like,
dress.
holy fuck, it's Hannah Brown.
I was like, Hannah back again? Like
And
I was
he
like,
was like
"Not again."
the person I expected least to reach out to me, and it was Hannah Brown.
Yes. I mean, we were throwing out names of past contestants.
Yep.
Like, we did not know
No.
who, and yes, it could have been Hannah Brown. And then we remember
was, I would've lost my
happily in a relationship, she's got that dog. So
Oh
it's like
yeah,
the whole
that's right.
thing.
That's right. I don't even follow her.
And I was just like, oh my
don't
God,
follow her.
and it's just Susie. So,
Okay.
that's a wrap for Clayton's season. All the best to. Oh, I'm gonna give Clayton a clap like Rachel's mom did.
Oh yeah.
That's how she.
I'm
just
Big Tone.
Purse slip.
Yeah, you be Big Tone.
That's it. You can end the show now.